KC3OL, K0EFJ, W0NKL. Well, good morning, guys, and glad to hear you on this morning. Sounds like the weather's going to change on us, and we might have a little bit of winter coming in here, and that's what we need is winter. And I'm on the transmitting on the Collins 30K1 this morning, and the receiver is the ICOM IC7610.
Hello, this is Jim Shoemaker, W0 November, Kilo Lima, W0NKL. I'm located in Fort Scott, Kansas. We're in the downtown district in one of the big historic buildings, and we live here. I have my radio shop in here, and my wife has her antique collectibles in here, and we occupy the whole building. This is my station, and my primary operating equipment is the ICOM 7610 and the Collins 30K1, and its serial number 94. And also in the operating position, I have a Johnson 500 75A3, and the A3 is a Howard Mills 75A3. This is a Collins R390A, and its serial number 20. This is the REA modulation monitor, and as you can see, the 30K readily does its 125 or more % modulation. It is a wonderful transmitter. It has never been restored. It's all original, and it's just beautiful all the way through. So this is where I operate from. I operate virtually all AM. Occasionally I go to sideband, but mostly it's all AM. And we've got more pictures of the 30K when we had it in, getting it all equipped, getting it all tuned before we brought it in here and put it in place. So the 30K is an amazing transmitter, and I'm very pleased with it, and I plan on keeping this one around for quite a while. I've also owned KW1 serial number 1 and KW1 serial number 71. So I've had a lot of stuff over the years, but I'm real proud of this little 30K1. So we'll give you some more pictures here in a second.
All right, here is Mr. Shoemaker. Mr. Shoemaker has serial number 94 of a Collins 30K1. These were built somewhere around 1945, 46. There were about 100 of them built. Warren Breeny was the designer of the Collins 30K1, and Jim had one of those too. So we'll show you a little bit of the back. He's added an SO239 up here for his antenna. And those are a 4-125, and even a Shoemaker right there on the other side of it. There you go. Jim has went through this transmitter and got it all back online. You see the white tags. Those were put on at the factory after it was wired up and tested to make sure that when it was put back together, the DEX was put in it after shipment, they would get it wired up correctly. There's your cute little 4-125. And if you'll look here on these serial tags, these are all in sequential order. Each one of the decks are original to the cabinet. And we're what, 75 THs for the modulators. So those look real nice. And here is number 94. Jim's going to drive it with a 310 C1 or just a C. 310C, which also looks very nice. So with that, we'll see what Jim gets here on his transmitter. Whenever Jim started putting this thing up together and getting it put on the air, he had trouble. He couldn't get it to load up into the antenna or a dummy load, and he only get what about 100 mils of current.
Right.
So this tuning unit here,
There's one for 80 and 40 and one for 10, 15, and 20. But this is the link coupling right here. This is the link coupling. And my final adjustment, when I got it to load and adjust right, these ones on this side had to be all the way out, and the ones on the other side had to be right here. You lift these up and you slide these sliders across to short out part of that coil. And I marked this very specifically so the next person will know where it's at, because I worked 2 days finding the correct spot for these.
and he only worked 2 days because he's close to 80 years old. 30 years ago, it would have been 30 minutes.
Yeah. Oh yeah. 30 years ago, I wouldn't have been able to afford the transmitter.
Jim's going to load this thing up. And he's going to load it up to, what, 150 mils?
150 mils.
And
Hello,
that,
test. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
and that will bring us
5,
over here
4,
to
3,
his
2, 1. Hello, test.
modulation.
Test 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hello, test.
And then if you look here, we have a
W0.
1,000-watt slug.
Hello, test. 1,
It's
2,
about 270 watts as far as I can tell here on the meter.
Test 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This is Jim again, and now we're going to kind of move around and get you some different shots of the station. Up on my top shelf, we've got a few collectible items. I went up and out of my storage area upstairs and pulled out some 33 1/3 albums. Put those up. Set a few of the microphones up on the shelf. I don't know, there's 40 or 50 up there probably. And they're just some I've had around here. And I thought, well, hey, I might as well put them up and look at them. And I've got LED lighting on them back there. And then this is the 30K1, serial number 94. And that is all original. That has not been restored. And the inside of it is the same way. The wiring harness is all original. The transformers are all original. The only thing I can tell that's ever been changed is possibly tubes. So it uses the 75TH tubes. And the 310 A1 exciter is a very low serial number too. I don't know what the serial number is, 15 or 20. And here again, the same thing on the Collins R390A. It's serial number 20, and this stuff is just in beautiful condition. I've had a lot of a piece of equipment over the years, but not a lot of it that was that I wanted to keep. The receivers, Howard Mills restored 75A3, and the other transmitter above it is the Johnson 500. And all I have to do to go from the 500 to the 30K is just whichever one I turn on and flip one coax switch on the wall, and that does it all. The audio is a Symmetrix 628, and it works very well, and drives everything fine. It drives the 500, it drives the 30K, and recently got a 7610. I was on the early order list, and I am really enjoying it. I've had 7800, ICOM 7800 in the past, and but the 7610, I am really pleased with it, because I have so much noise here in the downtown district, and have a 75-meter loop antenna up, and one leg of it's about 10 feet from a 7200 volt power line, and they're about the same height. So the 7610 does a great job on the noise reduction. So this is my shack. Glad you dropped by to look at it. And if you hear me on the air, most of the time you'll catch me at around 38, 85. Sometimes I'll go to 80, sometimes to 90, but majority of the time 38, 85, and I'll be on in the morning from usually 8 to 9 o'clock in the morning if everything goes okay. Thanks for dropping by.